The sixth set is Bel'Shir Vestige, spawning up in the top left-hand position as the blue Protoss player from SKT Team 8. His name is Terminator.
His opponent is the last stand for SK Telecom T1, the ace player being sent out. His name is Rain, playing for SK Telecom Team First.
You know, he may be the last player, but Rain, he's a fortress, man. It's going to be really hard to take him down.
It's like you're playing a video game, you're going through all those hard bosses, and you think that you took out the final boss. Bring out the Bison.
P.S. I would do anything
for one of those SK Telecom T1 jerseys, but unfortunately they're not selling one right now.
It's too bad, man.
And I'm not going to sell my shirt, because it's mine. I'm not going to sell that. Well, I'm sorry.
You know what, man? That just makes you a very greedy person.
I am.
Just kidding. I actually have an interesting tweet here from Wet Fartosis. Asks me, do you guys read tweets on stream? There's your answer.
And I had a different question about Major from Kelman Katang. Hey, really curious about teammate Major. Do you think he will ever come out to play, or is he just there to purely train? Well, Bunky is not interested, but now, okay, he approves the question. So, to answer the question, he's here to play, but if you're not as good as the other players in the team, then the coach is not going to send you out.
Yeah. He doesn't get special treatment. He won't get sent out just because he's a foreigner. But, you know, he did test in for the team. He had the required skill level to join the team as well. So, you know, he's got the potential. Will he be able to eventually show it? That's the real question.
It seems like the coach is happy with him, the players are happy with him, but his skill level is just not as good as the other players in SPL Team 8.
No, that's true. And, you know, we did see one match of him in the special against his teammate, who's actually playing right now, Terminator, and you know what? They actually had a pretty solid game. It's not like Terminator just completely rolled over Major, you know?
It seemed like watching a solid PBT in a regular Pro League match.
Yeah. So it's got potential. All right, well, based on what we see so far, both players, they've managed to grab the double gas in their main base. We have a Zealot finishing out here for Tyson, and he's going to go ahead and follow that up with a Stalker. Rain instead opting to get the Mothership Core instead of the first Zealot.
Yeah, Mothership Core is a great opening, especially if your opponent does not go for the 2 gateways, because there's no chance that they're going to snipe down the Mothership Core before you actually get a complete scout in your opponent's base.
Yeah. A sentry on the way for Rain as well here. Looks like he may want to follow this up with a decently fast expand, potentially. And, you know, not too much really going on in the game right now. We have a Stargate, though, on the way for Terminator here. Ooh, nice. So he's going to try to do some aggression here.
It's a little interesting because Terminator, Rain's going to go for the Nexus.
Expand.
But what's interesting is that I don't know if Rain actually saw the pylon at the left bottom position. Did he see it?
I don't think he did.
Well, then Rain's going to be confused right now because he's thinking Terminator to proxy something around the main base with the lack of pylons, and he's like, where is the pylon? What is he proxying? Is he going for the proxy DT or Stargate? Well, I am still confident, but I don't exactly know what he's going to go for, so I'm going to go for the Robo, the safest opening that I can do right now.
It looks like Rain, he's just going to try to play as defensive as possible in this position. If he can hold this Nexus, he will be fine. But the problem is, we're going to be having some aggression come here from Terminator. He's got those 3 gateways. That Oracle is going to finish soon, and he may go for a timing here.
Yeah, the Warp Gate is finishing pretty soon, and all Rain has to do is buy enough time to get the Immortals out. The Oracle is going to try to draw, the main unit is going to try to draw the Stalkers out of the main.
Uh-oh, the pylon scouts the Oracle.
Scouted. This is going to completely change the game.
This is going to change everything. Everything.
Well,
not everything, but it's going to change a lot.
It's going to change a lot because now Rain knows that he's going to, his opponent, Terminator, is going to try to bait the Stalkers out of the main base.
Interestingly, though, we have an observer that was made from our Protoss player here. Nexus cannon going down. Rain's perfectly prepared, man. He's able to defend against this, no problem. But hold on a second, guys.
This
is going to be an all-in.
Yeah.
This is going to be an all-in.
Well, think about this. Remember last game, he tried to follow up with the Nexus and parting did not make it work. Terminator knows that it's all do or die in this situation.
It is do or die. Now, this Oracle, they didn't get any kills, but it's got a lot of energy on it.
I don't know if there's an energy on the second Mothership Cannon at the natural, and you know, at some point in the game, Rain, he needs to go down the ramp and defend against this. He knows exactly what he's up against, so he needs to make a decision. Do I defend the base, or do I just waste it and then try to defend at the main base?
He's got the Immortal, he's got the Sentries. Good
nice
force fields go down there, killing off a lot of those units. The Oracle's moving in, though. They're going to completely decimate this army here, and it looks like Rain getting completely pushed back here. Will we see a 4-2 from Kespa Team 8 here? Rain is on the back foot here.
And now, even if the all-in doesn't work at this point, all Terminator has to do is take out the Mothership Core and take out the Nexus, and he'll be completely fine. He already has a Stargate tech. He could make a Nexus for himself, but no, he's going to try to go for the kill, but the Nexus cannon is too much at this point.
Terminator vastly ahead in supply right now. Rain down the 38 to the 53 of his opponent here.
Those Oracles just terminated every single sentries and the Immortals in that engagement. And Terminator is trying to keep more pressure against this opponent, but at this point he could follow up with a Nexus and he's going to be completely fine. Rain forced to make a 4th gateway. This is something that you do not want to do in one base scenario, even botching that force field a little bit.
Oh. He is not going to, attack in here at this point. But, I mean, well, maybe he could go for it.
Remember, he has more units.
He does have more units.
And if he just presses forward, if the force field is botched, then he wins the game right away.
Terminator still not grabbing an expansion here. There we go, just as I mentioned that. He does go ahead and put down that expansion. Twilight Council on the way from Rain here. I think he may try to go for some DTs because he's running out of options here.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have any probes outside of the main base, does he? Okay, there's one unit outside of the main base. 3 Zealots. Okay, he has the pylons over there to warp in some units. And really smart play.
This could be a way that Rain gets back into this game here. He's not in the best position right now. He's back against the wall essentially. At least the Nexus timing will be scouted, which will be nice for Rain, and he'll be able to send those Zealots into the main base. So that will help out him as well. And it doesn't look like Terminator has too much to really deal with these Zealots, actually.
He does have 3 gateways back at home, but it really depends on does he have the warp-ins? Yes, he does.
2 Zealots being warped in here, and Rain leaving. I expected him to attack there, sorry.
Whoa, let's see the warp prism. Is it going to get scouted? Yes, it does.
It does get scouted here. Those Zealots going to move in there. Nice positioning from Terminator. Another Oracle, though, on the way.
If that was a Phoenix, that would have changed everything. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, his opponent, Rain, is going for DTs right now. But the Robo is already out on the way, and this Warp Prism Harassment needs to do something. But I don't think it's going to work out.
Rain out of position here. If there was a... Okay, well, Zealots get taken out there, but... Things are not looking good. Nice warping, though, for Stalkers. Rain is going to force his opponent completely back here, going for a big counterattack. Are we going to see the rest of Terminator's units move back here? There is a good amount of units now for Rain on this side of the map, and he's able to reinforce to this position as well.
And remember, DT is pretty much finishing up soon, and he doesn't have any detection. But the warp, he's going to have to wait one more cycle because he just warped in 4 DTs, 4 Zealots right now. So he's going to need to wait one more cycle for those DTs to come out. But Terminator, he needs to observe it pretty soon because now Rain's going to go for the Robo.
He's going for the Robo. Will he be able to make those DTs in time and kill off that Robo there?
Oh my
the
God.
Observer, he knows, but Rain, he is going to be able to snipe down the Robo. It goes down. There are no Oracles on the map. Has Rain done the impossible and turned this game around? He's got the DTs now. There is nothing to stop
nice
this
force
Oracle.
field blocking the unpowered pylon, and there's a second pylon going down, but is this going to be enough? All he needs to do is fortify this position, and yes, he is going to have the vision, but he doesn't have the observer.
Sick force fields going down. That's going to allow the rest of those units to escape there. The Oracle with detection now is going to be able to scare away those Dark Templars, but the damage has been done.
And also, at this point, Terminator, he needs constant Oracle production until he gets the Robo out.
Yeah,
Because,
I guess you're right.
Yeah, because I mean, I faced this situation so many times on ladder, and if you don't have the constant Oracle production, then you're not gonna have the vision against the Dark Templar. So as soon as you get the 150, as soon as you get the gas and the minerals, go for the Oracles right away. That's what he needs to do until he buys enough time to get the Robo down and the Observer down.
Looks like that DT was taken out, or either that or it's still running around a little bit more. We have that second Oracle on the way, like you mentioned there. Rain doing a good job at trying to come back in this game here. He is still down in supply, but there is a chance that he can come back into this game. Losing those sentries, not going to be that good at all. Nice force field's going to go down, but
Loses one.
yeah, he does lose one of those sentries.
Second Oracle is out, and this is the problem that I was talking about. If you don't have the constant Oracle production, look at this, only 14 probes for our Kespa teammate Protoss player, and 29 probes for Rain.
If that DT is able to escape, well,
Never mind.
never mind. Yeah.
So now we have this really funky game where Terminator was so solid, but he just skipped out on a single Observer, did not scout inside his opponent's main base, and allowed his opponent to come back into this game effectively. This is nice.
Good force fields
Terminator
going off
just
here.
wasting those stalkers. This is something that he doesn't need right now.
And Rain is kind of evening up in supply here now, 60 to 63. We have an Oracle though in the main base. All of those stalkers running away, or sorry, probes running away. Nexus cannon going down. That's going to scare away that Oracle for now.
Just make him sit over there, but here's a counter attack by Terminator.
Oh, sick force fields from Terminator here. Okay, force field from Rain. It's going to force these units back here.
Nexus cannon is enough.
Well.
That single lonely sentry trying to get back to the force field, but it's okay. You're going to live for now. Your opponent is not attacking at this point. And Rain, he has 2 immortals.
I also want to point out the worker count has been evened out by this point. The army tabs are looking pretty even between both players, but there are 2 oracles on the map still from Terminator.
This is so weird, yet really exciting PvP that we're seeing today.
It's not standard, man. It's completely out of the norm. Throw the rulebook out, man. This is something new.
This is something that I guess some of the people wanted, because like you get all of these different tech paths that you could go for, and it's a really hacked.
Comebacks, man.
And comebacks. It allows such an epic comeback into the game. For example, earlier in the game, Rain, he would have died so easily. Later in the game, Terminator, he would have died if he didn't have the Robo.
Oh,
but
unfortunately losing that Oracle there.
And also, it seems like there was a DT at the front. Remember, he still doesn't have the Robo, so he needs Oracle at the main base to see those DTs. But the Robo is out on the way, and Terminator is going to utilize his Stargate tech by going for Void Rays, while Rain, since he doesn't have any Stargate tech, the best decision is going to be the Robo Bay into Colossus.
I like the decision of adding in the Void Rays here. They're going to do a good amount of damage against the Colossus there. Does that Phoenix scout it, though? Yeah, it should scout it there. He'll see what's going on here, and, you know, how's he going to respond?
First of all, Blink. Blink is the first answer to this. Interestingly enough, Terminator decided to catch up in the Immortal count first instead of getting the Observer.
Well, I guess he's really confident against DTs.
Yeah, just like last time, this is a little risky, but it does pay off if your opponent does not have the DTs.
Yeah, if there is a DT in the main base of Terminator here, that would be bad.
He needs to Chrono Person out and Observer. There we go.
Oh, yeah. You know, the thing is, Rain has no idea, though. He can't know. He can just assume there's one Oracle there that has detection on. Another Phoenix moving in here, going to scout everything that's going on. We have a Templar Archives on the way, though, for Rain here.
Storms.
So, Storm. We could definitely see some Storm against this Void Ray-based army here.
Remember, he's not making any Colossus from that Robo after seeing the Stargate, so he does have the tech. He could go for it whenever he wants to, but he knows that going for it right now is going to be suicidal.
Yeah. All right, and extra pair of gateways on the way. Charge is almost complete for Rain as well.
There we go. Storm's coming out. Rain exactly knows how to play this out against a Stargate-based army from Terminator. But both players, unless they want to hit a timing attack from 2 bases, they need to take a 3rd expansion at this point. We're 20 minutes into the game. They're already mined at the mined out in the main. They're going to be mined out at the natural pretty soon. So they need a 3rd base.
Yep.
Excuse us for a second. Seems like the feed from OGN is getting
All right, well,
getting a little iffy right now, but it's back for now.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, so still have that Oracle alive on the field being annoying. It looks like we had Storm actually canceled from Rain here. He's just opting to get more Archons in his army composition at this point in the game. Third base on the way for our Kespa Team 8 player, Terminator, but at the same time, Rain, I think he's gearing up to take an expansion, but we don't see it quite yet.
Yeah, at this point, he does have the minerals. He should go. Seems like he rallied it. There we go. Next is going down after seeing that his opponent also had one. And now we're just going to go into late game. But look at this Rain. He's going to slowly move out on the map, but he needs to rely on the Blink and the Archons to take out the Void Rays.
Yeah. Rain is ahead in supply at this point, though, so got to keep that in mind here. He's got a very solid army composition until the Void Ray count hits a critical mass here. But are we going to see any more Void Rays from Terminator? That's the real question here.
Yeah, well, because of number of charge lots, Rain can actually overpower the ground army easily from Terminator. But the problem is, can he actually take out the Void Rays? Remember, the +1 is on the way. Constant Void Ray production is on the way. And I don't know why he canceled the Storm. It's like, yeah, it's like you could use the Archons, but the number of Void Rays and the number of them stacking up, you need the Storms at this point. Yeah. If you don't have the Storms, you can't engage into the army.
I guess he felt like he could delay the Storm, and he wanted the Archons earlier on, just in case Terminator went for a powerful timing a bit earlier on in the game.
I guess so. I guess so. And it was a nice decision, but it does allow Terminator to get more Void Rays out. So it's an even trade-off, and now look at this Terminator moving out on the map. Those 4 Zealots going towards the third base.
The Zealots, they're going to do a little bit of damage here. Probably not too much, though. We have Terminator already warping in a few units there. That cannon will get taken down, but the Zealots won't kill off any of the probes there. And, you know, just to do a little bit of a recap here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, actually,
he pulled all of his probes.
That was a little bit of a mistake there.
Their base, but look at this. Terminator, he's waiting for those probes. Once the probes get there, the Oracle is going to make its move.
It is. I don't think it's going to do too much damage there. There's some Stalkers ready to defend. Even High Templars over in that position as well. This DT doing a good amount of damage in the main base of Terminator, unpowering that Stargate there. Going to help him out. And it looks like we have a tech switch from Terminator here. He's going to go into the double robo play from the Void Rays. I guess this is just to counter the High Templar composition.
High Templar slash the number of Zealots that his opponent has, because he doesn't want to get overpowered on ground. Remember, the charge lots are fast, and even if you have massive amount of Void Rays, if there's 200 Zealots out on the field, they're going to take out everything before the Void Rays can deal with them.
All right, so I guess just to do a little recap here for you guys, because this game has been quite wonky. We had Terminator open up with some aggression early on. He got really far ahead. Rain then countered with his own aggression. He warped a lot of units near Terminator's base, used some DT harassment, and it just turned into this weird, funky game to where now both players don't really have the Colossus tech, but they're going to eventually go into it.
Yeah, to be a little more exact, Rain started off greedy with the Nexus first, and his opponent had way much more army. Nice force fields going down, and the Warp Prism DT harassment. That pretty much brought him back into this game. He almost won the game too when he took out the Robo, but the Oracle came out just in time, and all the DTs got sniped.
So I think we're going to see pretty much every unit composition, or every unit from the Protoss arsenal at this point in the game.
Well, let's see which unit composition is better. You know, everything without the Void Rays or everything with the Void Rays.
We could even see Tempest Man. We could see anything here.
I don't see Rain going for Tempest right now. He doesn't have the economy to get the Stargate down to go for it, so he's just gonna stick on those Templars against the air army. Terminator, he could use the Tempest to get a positional advantage throughout the whole game, but he's going for the Temple Archives first. He wants his own Archons against the Zealots and the Archon of Rain.
Basically, we have a Colossus Void Ray composition versus a Colossus Storm composition. The bare bones it right there. A few extra Archons, though, in Rain's army, and that's going to help him out a lot.
+2 is going to finish sooner for our SK Telecom T1 player, Rain. But, you know, they're just missing out the upgrades right now. Both players getting the Colossus and Rain adding in a Warp Prism.
Yeah. Warp Prism will be quite useful in the situation. Both players just kind of moving around the map right now. They don't want to directly engage, but they want to try to get into a solid position here. This Oracle moving in, going to try to do a little bit of damage here, but
goodbye.
Yeah, it's going to go down and up. Yep, gets taken out by those 2 Stalkers. Nice warp in there from Rain. He is ahead in supply right now if we look at the overall supply, and nope, they're just killing off Hallucination there.
I think the Temple Archives for Terminator finished, right? He should start morphing in Archons pretty soon. If not, then
he's going to need those Archons unless he wants to try to rely on those Void Rays to focus down the Colossi of Rain here. But the problem is,
this is
they're going to stack up. The Storm's going to kill him.
And remember, this is a pure Void Ray. If this was a Void Ray and Phoenix, Phoenixes can go in first, lift up all the Templars, and then go for the main army engagement, and there won't be any Storms to cast on the Void Rays. But this is a little different.
Looks like, all right, just a defensive Nexus Cannon going down here. And Terminator is going to be forced back. He doesn't want to attack in this position. We have
Storm!
We have Storm drops in PvP, guys.
42 probes have been killed.
It took us a little bit over 2 years, but we finally have Storm drops in PvP, guys.
Not only in PvP, but finally in PvP. This is what I like. But both players, they need to take a fort base now. They're dragging it out. Rain is maxed out. Terminator is slowly maxing out once again, but he needs to either warp in units or play defensive. He's playing with fire right now, and he has less units.
All right, the Colossi trying to get the good swipes. Take out 1 Templar there. The positioning is key here, and it's very solid for Terminator right now. It's going to be so hard for Rain to properly engage into this forest here. Another Storm drop going down, killing off more workers. I love that Rain's doing little cute things like this, but he's got to worry about the big engagement here eventually, and there's no energy for a solid time warp. Rain forced to leave that 3rd base with his probes.
Yeah, this is a really nice pressure, but Terminator cannot overcommit into it because he had the fantastic position, but only good enough so that Rain does not engage into that area. So both players pretty much using the 3rd Nexus as the barrier between the 2 players, and is Rain finally going to go for it?
Oh, and also the +3 about the finish here for Terminator. He's going to have the +3. He has the Colossus advantage, and he even has the Archon advantage now. Things are looking just fantastic for Terminator right now.
He's playing with the fire with those Colossus. If he loses 1 or 2 before going into the main battle, then Rain can win the game easily. So now it really depends on Rain's Storm uses. How effectively is he going to take out those Void Rays?
Sniping down 1, not losing a lot there, and forcing the charge from the Void Rays. That will go down soon here. Rain, is he going to go for the engagement? It's still very dicey. If he can get the proper positioning, though, that will be the key here to determining the victor of this game.
Terminator looking a little bit more ahead into the game. He doesn't want to commit to it. Instead, he's getting a additional Nexus out a lot. Well, it was actually Rain, excuse me. Rain looking a little bit more ahead into the game, knowing that he secured the 3rd base. Terminator, he's running against the time. His opponent has better economy. All he has to do is win the 1 battle, but he can't find the right angle to engage into that army. So I think it's better for Terminator to also follow with another Nexus, but that's 3 DTs at the natural.
Oh, really smart positioning with those probes. They're going to block a lot of those DTs there, but the DTs said, all right, well, we're just going to kill all of the workers then. That was our initial goal here, not to snipe down that. And oh, the Mothership Core from
that was a mistake.
Rain getting taken out there.
Now, Terminator doesn't have the economy, but he's going to squeeze out a lot of units at this point.
Yeah, he's going to be able to squeeze out more units in place of those probes. 22 probes for Terminator, actually. He is way down on the probe count here, getting that +3 right now. And we have +1 armor on the way for Rain here.
But Terminator also cannot engage because he's down in plus upgrades. He doesn't have the fantastic unit positioning. And, it's kind of iffy situation where you know that the time is on your opponent's side, but you can't attack into him.
Rain not paying attention to this War Prism here. It's going to get taken out, and...
Well, it did kill up to 50 probes with the Storm, so it's all good.
Yeah, I guess the Storms and the Warpins, definitely that War Prism did its job there. And both players trying to find a good position to engage. I think we may have an engagement. Here we go. We have good time warps going down, and the Storms are connecting with a lot of those Void Rays here. The arc right now is looking really good for Rain. Terminator falling in supply here. I think the Storms are going to be able to do their job, but the Void Race, if they can focus down the
They're
Colossi...
still alive and well right now. He didn't take out the Void Race. All the Stalkers are down, and there's only one Archon for the anti-air. The Time Warp working against the Rain right now. A second Colossus, all he has to do is target fire the Archon, but no, the Void Race are clumped up right now, but it does get taken out.
So the Void Race here, they are surviving and allowing Terminator to push against his opponent here. The supply is still very, very even here. There's a few High Templars on the map, not being cared to from Terminator at this point, though.
But the problem is, Rain doesn't have any anti-air.
That is the biggest problem here, and I think after these Colossi are going to be taken out, GG! What a game from Terminator. Rain did his best to defend there, but holy crap.
Wow.
That is probably the best PvP HOTS game that we have casted.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Rain, little disappointment from him in the main army engagement. He didn't take out the Void Race effectively. He had to blink Stalkers to himself. He could have blinked in, you know, take out all those Void Race, just warp in additional Zealots and wipe out the entire army of Terminator, but it just did not work out well for our SK Telecom T1 player.
Unfortunately for him, you know, you have to admire Rain. He held on so long in that game. He got completely back into it, but the unit composition, in the end, Terminator, he had it, and he was able to win.
Remember what we were talking about is everything with the Void Race and everything without the Void Race, and Void Race win today.
Yep, the Void Race beat the High Templar today. Looks like with that Colossus support, that's, I think, like the first time we've actually seen something like that in a high-level PvP match from Pro League as well.
Usually it's a Colossus and Tempest, but it seems like he didn't want to go into Tempest just yet, using the Void Race to defend against a high number Stalkers from Rain early on and just carry that advantage